Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we will talk about Git Clone. So, what is Git Clone? See, for example, you are having a GitHub repository, right? And you want that GitHub repository is to be downloaded on your local system. Then we use Git Clone. So Git clone is a Git command used to copy an existing remote repository to your local machine. So what it will do? It will create a full copy of your repository, complete commit history, all branches, and a remote connection, which is called the origin. Okay, so we will see this practically. So what I'll do here, I will go to my GitHub repository and the one which we have created, this is the one. And I want to download this. So this is a public repository and currently I am having only one branch. If I want to create one more branch, let me go here and create one more branch. And the branch which I want to call it as dev1 branch. Okay. So branch is a separate dedicated topic which we will discuss later in our branch topics, right? So, but for this example, it is required. So I'm creating a branch and I named it dev1 branch, right? Now, if I go back to my code, now here you can see that in the code, there are two ways to download this. One is HTTPS, second is SSH. We can also use GitHub CLI. Again, GitHub CLI is a separate topic, which we will discuss in our upcoming lectures. So what I want to do, I want to clone this repository with this HTTPS. So currently it is a public repository. It means anyone can download it. If it is a private repository, then you need the credential, GitHub credential, to download that repository or clone that repository. So I'm copying this URL. SSH part we will discuss maybe little later, but that is also one of the option. If you are having a SSH connectivity from your local system to GitHub repository, then you can use this URL. So I'm using this URL. Now what I have done, I have this uh, see my source mastering DevOps. There is one directory. So I will open it in a terminal. Right? So now it is opened. Now what I want the main branch code to be downloaded on my local system. For that, what I will do, git clone. No need to mention main branch. If it is a separate branch, then you can use hyphen hyphen branch or -b. So I'm simply saying git clone and this repository. Now what I will do, I will run this command. Once it is done, then you can see that there is a directory get created, which is first demo repo. Now let me go here. See, this directory is created. This is basically the entire code, which is downloaded from the GitHub repository to my local system. Now, if I say git, uh, let me go to this directory, cd, and first demo repo directory. And if I say ls, see, all the files are here. Now, I want to check whether Git is initialized or not. So I will simply run a Git command, say Git status. You can see everything is up to date. If I say Git log one line, so there are 3 commits, and these commits are same as the commits which we are having here, exactly same, because it has downloaded the complete copy along with the commits, right? So these are 3 commits, same commits we are having here. Now, if I say git and branch, right? So you can see it has downloaded the main branch, right? So this way we can download the main branch. Now, if you want to download a particular branch, like dev1 branch we have created, so that also we can do. To demonstrate that, what I will do, I will go here and I will create one more folder so that I can download a copy of GitHub repository into that folder. So I'm going into the dev1 folder. It is not necessary you need to give the same name of the folder as the branch name, but for simplicity, I'm doing this. Now I will go and open the terminal and I will run the same command, but now this time I will say here that git clone and -b for branch, or hyphen branch we can use. And I want to download the branch which is dev1 branch, right? So now it is cloning the repository for dev1 branch only. So here, if I say git and status, so now you can, sorry, I need to go to that directory, cd, first demo, this directory is downloaded. Now, if I say git status, so you will see that there is nothing to commit. And if I say git branch, so you can see it has downloaded dev1 branch. So let us go to our notes and see. Now, hopefully you understand this git clone and repository URL. So I'm using the HTTPS. You can use the SSH also. What happens? Git creates a new folder into your repository name. It initializes a .git directory. So if you see here under this, there is a .git directory get created, right? Which is having the complete snapshot details about my repository, GitHub repository. It checks out the default branch, usually its main branch, sets the origin automatically. So if I go here and if I want to see what is my remote repository, so you can run a command git remote -v. So here you can see it is pointing to my GitHub repository, which is github.com KMIT courses, and first repo, uh, first demo repo.git, which is the URL, right? So it is what it has done as the origin automatically. Okay, so git clone, and if you want to push it into a particular folder, then that folder will be my project folder. Under that, it creates the repository. For example, if I take this one, right, or if in my case it is different. So if I say this branch, I want to put it into new folder. Okay, so now it is cloning into the new folder. If I go to this dev1 branch, right? So this is my dev1. So if I go to dev1 branch, so so this is code, and if I go here, and here you can see because it was already there, so I mixed up the things. So what it has done, it has basically uh, created under the new folder. Okay, so so here actually I was into this first demo folder. That's why it has created under that this new folder. Okay, so you can also clone this to the particular folder also. Next, if you want to download a specific branch, I have used -b. You can use the hyphen branch also. Now, if you want to take a shallow copy, what is shallow copy? Shallow clone is basically only the latest commit, no full history. So for example, if I say depth 1, right? So I want to take only last commit. Then what I can do, I can use git clone hyphen depth and 1 and the repository. So we will do this. So I will go here And let me go out of this cd dot dot and cd dot dot. Let me create a directory mkdir. I will say dev2 cd dev2, right? And what I will do here, I will run the same command, git clone command, and I will not create a folder here. I will say git clone, and here I will say git, I will say git clone, and I will use the same repository, and I will remove this -b dev1. Instead of that, I will say depth and 1. Right. So now what it is doing, it is cloning the repository, but with the last commit only. So if I say cd and first demo, and now if I say ls, so you can see everything is there. But if I say git and log one line, so you can see it is having only last commit, not entire history. So that also we can do. With submodules. Submodule is a separate topic where you create a repository inside another repository. So it's a nested repository concept, which we will discuss separately. But you can clone with submodules also. So how you can do that? Git clone hyphen recursive and your repository URL. Now, if we talk about the DevOps related example, so developers forks the repository. Forking is a concept where uh, you download a repository from one account to another account on GitHub. Okay, or they can fork it locally, then we call it cloning. So git clone command, they are downloading that repository locally. They are adding it as a remote repository. So what is this git remote add upstream? Upstream is not a reserved word, but it is the name of which is representing to the remote repository. Let me show you here. If I'm in this project and if I say git remote -v, so here it is saying origin. Origin is my GitHub repository. Now, if I say git and origin, git remote, add, and upstream, and if I give the URL of my repository, so if I go to my URL, okay, it is here only. So I'll go to the code and I will take this. Say an example, I'm taking SSH URL. Okay. This requires the SSH key, which we will discuss later, but I'm copying this URL. So I'm saying upstream and I will give this URL. Now, what will happen if I say git remote and -v? So you can see there is one more uh, origin is added, or one more reference is added to my remote repository, which is pointing to my SSH URL. So this is how we can use the upstream. We will talk about fork in next lecture, and we will see what is the difference between fork and clone. Okay. So if you are having certain error related to the clone, which is permission denied, and you are using the SSH connection, then you need to check your SSH key, or if you are using HTTPS connection, then you need to replace with the SSH if you want to use the SSH connection. Repository not found, you did not use the proper URL, that could be the reason, or maybe you are not having the permission. I have used public repository, but it could be the private repository where it needs the user ID and the token. So That's it for this lecture. I hope you like this. In next lecture, we will see how fork works.